Hey all, I'm Cowboy from Bullet Break, and we've got our new backdrop here. I think it's beautiful, and we've got our tablecloths, which I think are they did an amazing job. And I'm here to tell you how to install the Bullet Break on your motorcycle, since I won't be there installing it every time. Um, in simplicity, you'll be receiving your Bullet Break in this Jiffy Pack. That Bullet Break is this. This is the BB01, most popular model for most Harley heavy bikes. Uh, this is a model of the Bullet Break that I made a couple of years ago when I first figured out how to make this thing work. Since then, we have a couple of items right here getting ready to be shipped out today. And what we're going to do is we're going to install a Bullet Break on this 2018 Street Glide, and that's a simple matter of using a 12 millimeter wrench to remove the existing banjo bolt and seals and reinstalling the Bullet Break with the same 12 millimeter wrench. I highly suggest as new a wrench as you can get your hands on so that you don't damage the finish on it during installation. The higher the quality wrench, the less chance of damaging it. So we simply start by opening the clamshell pack. Inside there you'll find a plastic bag, and the reason for the plastic bag is to keep dust out of it. We don't need dust in it, so we get this little plastic bag open, and this is really small. It's very small. There you go. That's how I'm getting mine out. So what you have here is a Bullet Break assembly, and you'll want to cycle it a couple of times before you go to install it. Don't push it all the way in. It stops about 1/8 of an inch short. You wait. That's what we're going to do in a minute. So now I'm getting ready to take my 12 millimeter wrench and go over here and remove the banjo bolt from this 2018 Street Glide. I get a paper towel, and the paper towel is to catch any brake fluid that may or may not leak out of master cylinder. Some leak, some don't. It's in the sun. I'm expecting a little bit of leakage, but not much. But at any rate, here we go. I'll take my paper towel and I'm gonna wrap it around the brake line because that's where the brake fluid is gonna go, down. They're tight. So we're going to remove this 12 millimeter banjo bolt and seals from the motorcycle, and there's a little bit of seepage coming out of there. Not much. Remove the banjo bolt, collect the 2 seals that come with it, and set that aside. But in the meantime, keeping the paper towel there to catch any potential leakage. Now I'm going to take the paper towel and I'm going to wipe the surfaces, the front and the back surfaces, and the face surface of the master cylinder. All right. And then I'm going to leave the paper towel back in there to catch any brake fluid that may or may not leak. Some leak, some don't leak. That wasn't even that bad. So here we have the Bullet Break and a seal. Now the Bullet Break gets installed with this metal seal first. And you take the D-ring seal and you install that up against the brake line. And then push the plunger in a little ways, like that. And then mate it back to the master cylinder. It'll go. There we go. I'm backwards to it so I can't even see what I'm doing there. Oh, let me get up on this thing here so I can see. The brake line is slightly askew. That brake line really should be straight on. this motorcycle's had risers put on it, or high bars. There we go. No brake line fighting me. But at any rate, turn it in by hand until it stops. Not too hard. Then from here, you're going to wipe off any excess brake fluid. You're simply going to cycle the piston in and out a few times, and that sucks the air, sucks the brake fluid out of the master cylinder and pushes the air back into the master cylinder. So then you want to check. Whoops. Didn't tighten that up first. But we have brake fluid. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, until it stops. Don't force it past that point. It will stop on its own. If you force it past it, you've gone beyond the design. It is only designed to go in so far and then stop. So now, you cycle the bullet brake in and out, and you can see it's going all the way in, and it will pop out, in, out, in, out. And the brake lever gets increasingly better with every cycle until it's literally, there's brake lever in normal operation. Okay, so now in order to engage the bullet brake, you squeeze the lever, push the button in, let the lever go. The bike ain't going nowhere. Now we're what, a minute or two into the install and that bike is done. All right, give it a squeeze just like that, and that bike can go wherever you want it to go. Squeeze it again, set it, let it go. Set it and forget it. It ain't going nowhere. And that's how you install the bullet brake on the bike. You want to make sure that there's no excess fluid. You certainly want to make sure that there isn't any leaks. There shouldn't be. If there is, you may have too much twist in your brake line, and you may have to take the twist out of your brake line. You're going to have to make that brake line line up as best you can to the master cylinder and the bullet brake. You see, I had a little trouble with this because this brake line was slightly askew, but that's not uncommon. Give it a squeeze, and it pops right back out, just like that. And that's how it works. Squeeze the brake, push the lever in, button in, and let the lever go. And you don't need much. You don't need much, not much of a pull. So at any rate, one of the things that needs to be done when you're installing the bullet brake, prior to installing the bullet brake, I just happen to know that this one fits that bike, is you want to check, after you remove the banjo bolt, you want to check the thread. And the thread should match perfectly. If it doesn't match perfectly, do not install the bullet brake. You have a different model on your bike than what the manufacturer put in there. This could be aftermarket, it could be, you name it. The list goes on and on and on. But if it doesn't match perfectly, do not install it. Because all you do is tear up your master cylinder and the bullet brake, and there's $180 on a master cylinder and $100 and some dollars on this bullet brake, and you got nothing but problems. Take your old bullet brake, old banjo bolt, put it back in a clamshell case, and store it somewhere. Just in case you decide you want to take it off of this bike and put it on another bike or whatever. Even though we don't recommend doing that, because if you do that, you're going to have to order a D-ring seal. This little brass seal right here, you're going to have to order a new one. So you don't want to do that. So here you go. That's it. That is the complete bullet brake install. Somehow I managed to give myself a little boogie. So we're all good. All right. Thank you very much.